Greetings, my spiritual family. Welcome to the Sunday video. I'm Ananda, the Galactic Mystic, and today I wanted to switch it up a little bit and share with you my process of how I remember my dreams and how I work with my dream walking as a mystical practice. My parents' religion was Ekankar, and you probably have never heard of that. They were clergy in this religion, and as a child, many spiritual concepts were sort of basic, normal, welcome to the earth kind of things. And working with my dreams was one of those things. So at a very young age, there was an emphasis on remembering your dreams, recording your dreams, and then learning the specific language that my higher self, my different levels of consciousness, my guides, all of these etheric levels and multidimensional ways that we exist can all filter down and come to us in our dreams. And if we're not writing our dreams down, we are missing out on the opportunity to discover this connection and discover the language, the messages, the meaning. It's really one of my most favorite mystical practices. So you're probably thinking, well, Ananda, that sounds great, but I never remember my dreams. So what I want to share with you today are some tips to help you in this way. Okay. So the first tip is to stop saying that I never remember my dreams. Let's just shift the mentality around that a little bit and maybe open up to the possibility of when I remember a dream, I'm going to write it down. So that's step one, to just shift it into, I can't wait until I remember a dream so I can write it down and put it in my dream book. So step two is the dream book. And this is very important. Even if you are 100% convinced that it's going to be 5 years until you remember a dream, I want you to do this. So you want to have a notebook, a book that is dedicated to dream recording. You want to have special pens. Well, I have special pens, but I have a thing about pens. So I'm going to show you my dream notebook. So I like gold glitter. So this is my dream notebook. And in here I have all kinds of things. I have cards from my husband. I have like this painting my son made for me. I keep these special things in here so that when I open it, I feel good automatically, because sometimes I'm recording a dream that is disturbing. I'm just going to be straight with you. I have some really messed up dreams sometimes. So another thing that I do is I have special pens. Now, like I said, I have a thing about pens, and maybe you don't. And if you don't, that's okay. Just have a pen that is pleasing to write with. I like different colors. I like glitter pens. I like metallic pens, but they also have to write really well. They have to be smooth, not gloopy, not, I'm left-handed, so it can't leave like stuff on my hand when I'm writing, all of these things. And I know it sounds like overcomplicated, but this is actually part of the ritual and it's part of the commitment. And so step three is this commitment. So you want to think of this in the long term. You don't want to think about, oh, well, I didn't remember any dreams this week, so this sucks and I'm not going to do this anymore. I have long periods of time that I don't remember any of my dreams, and I don't worry about it because I know that it's whatever it is, for whatever reason. It's usually because I'm not getting enough sleep, But I know that when the time is right, when there's something that I need to do with a dream or learn from a dream, or just, a message from my guides, a message from my higher self, I know the dream will come. So I don't worry. But this is a long game. You want to think of this as a lifetime commitment because you'll get the best results by doing it in the long haul. Over time, as you do this, you will learn your specific dream language, and you will learn that you have certain themes, and maybe you already do. Maybe you already have themes that you dream about, recurring types of dreams. For instance, I dream about people of color a lot. I dream about Asian people and brown-skinned people all the time. I also dream about predatory animals, specifically bears and big cats. I dream about spaceships all the time, about flying all the time, and talking babies. That's a weird one that I dream about all the time. But if I was not writing down my dreams, specifically the one about people of color, I would never have noticed that one. I don't know if you can hear that, but that's my bird clock. So there are so many opportunities and so many things to excavate in this process. So the next step, and this is really important, sometimes you will only remember a tiny, tiny thing. Like, I was sitting outside in my dream. Even if that is all you remember, write it down. More often than not, by taking the time to sit down, open your book, get your lovely pen, and write down that little section, a lot of times you will be amazed that you remember more. Sometimes you won't, and if you don't be disappointed. It's just that way sometimes. But a lot of times it'll be like, oh my gosh, I totally forgot about that. Like this morning, I woke up surprised that I didn't remember my dreams. And then as I was sitting there, I'm like, what the heck? Because last night was the full moon eclipse. And one of the things that I've also learned about myself is that I tend to have the most potent, powerful dreams that I remember around new moons and full moons. And so I fully expected to have just wild, out of this world dreams last night. And I woke up being like, that's kind of weird. And as I sat there, the whole dream came to me. And I actually had an amazing dream last night that, had I not just taken a moment to think, I would not have remembered. And I'm gonna fess up, I have not written it down yet. I also have not yet written down my dream from the night before because I'm being a little bit slack about this, but I'm making sure that I remember them by thinking about them a lot and by telling people about them. I have friends that I tell my dreams to all the time, and I always tell my partner my dreams. And he's like, you are so weird. What is it with you and your dreams? But in doing that, I'm reinforcing the recall. So when I sit down, I can remember it and write it all down. So other things, like I said earlier, if I'm not sleeping enough, I'm likely not going to remember my dreams. Sometimes my dreams are just processing stress. And, that's an important part of our dream state, is our brain processing through the day and, our consciousness doing its thing and filing things away and all of that. Still write those down. There's something to it. So I often sleep with crystals under my pillow. I don't always, but a lot of times I do. Lately, I've been sleeping with, I have a big raw ruby. She's about this big. I call her Mama Ruby. I sleep with her under my pillow. Last night I slept with a phantom amethyst under my pillow. And I'm just going to confess that when I was single, I would totally spoon these big crystal clusters. It's just, and I don't know if that helps my dreams, but I feel like it does. I feel like it helps me go into that state. Now, some of the things that will happen in your dreams, once you start working with them in this way, you can start remembering things that your consciousness has blocked out. You can remember clues about your past lives. You can receive premonitions. You can receive answers to questions. And there's no limit to how this can benefit you. Your higher self and your guides and your consciousness want to communicate with you. And that's one thing that you have to remember. It's not like you have to twist yourself into a knot or like stand on your head and do a split into a cartwheel and a perfect somersault in order to do the perfect thing in the perfect way to receive communication, connection in your dreams. No, I mean, it's there, it's ready. It's ready for you just to give it a try. Make a commitment. Say, okay, I'm going to do this. You will be amazed. You'll be amazed by how fun, totally magical, and like worthwhile this mystical practice can be. Now, I want to mention mugwort. Mugwort is an herb that's known to help with dream walking. I've actually never used it. I've always kind of wanted to, but I figure at least at this point in my life, my dreams are so powerful anyway. Well, maybe it would be interesting to try it, even with that being the case. But there are different ways to use mugwort. Some people smoke it. Some people drink a tea. Some people even just kind of, rub it on their third eye before bed. There are many different ways to use it. And so that's something that you could try if you wanted to. Maybe you're an herbalist and you know of other herbs that are good for this. If you do, please put them in the comments below. Or if you have any other tricks that I haven't mentioned, let us know in the comments below, because we all benefit from this information. This is one of the most beautiful mystical practices. I hope you make the commitment. Get your awesome notebook, get your cool pens, get your crystals or your mugwort or whatever, and see what happens. All right. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for liking and subscribing, and come back every day for daily astrology and energy reports and updates. And I just hope you have the best day ever. See you next week. Oh my God, I just dropped it and all my little magical things fell out of my notebook. So I'm going to clean that up now. Bye.